Hello, this is Fear Dragon, and welcome to Breaking Out, the show about North American StarCraft 2 players. Here on this show, we spend 1 week highlighting an up-and-coming North American player. Throughout the week, we find out more about the player's history, their personality, and their playstyle over the course of 6 short episodes. On Monday, we'll interview the player and find out more about them. Tuesday through Thursday, we'll watch a game from each of the various matchups casted by your very own Fear Dragon. On Friday, we'll check out a generally awesome game with some sick play, and on Saturday, we'll kick it back with the player and have some wacky fun with some randomly selected events like handicap ladder matches, karaoke, and dance contests. Each episode aims to be about 20 to 30 minutes long, so you can learn more about the North American StarCraft 2 scene without interrupting your busy WCS schedule. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the show. Hello, this is Fear Dragon coming at you with another episode of Breaking Out, the show about North American StarCraft 2 players that you need to know about. And I am joined here today with Boisterous SC2. How you doing today, Robert?
Jesus is a dreidel spinner is not stuck in my head.
God damn it, Boisterous! You weren't supposed to bring it up! But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and jump in and introduce the players and completely ignore what Boisterous just said. As we spawn up here in the top side of Polar Knight, on top of the purple Terran player, representing Core Gaming and the highlight player of the week in this awesome game, it is going to be Core Gaming Sonic!
And down here on the bottom side of the map, we have from Team IHCC, we are going to have the pink Protoss player. It's going to be Trace. Oh my god, I can't stop laughing, Fear Dragon. I gotta compose myself, man.
Alright. You compose yourself. I'm gonna tell you guys, in case you are tuning in for the first time, no, I am not with a friend who's completely high. He is just laughing about other random things. But This is Breaking Out, the show about North American StarCraft 2 players, where we spend 1 week highlighting an up-and-coming North American StarCraft player. And, you know, Monday we do an interview with them, so we learned a little bit more about Core Gaming Sonic. But Tuesday through Thursday, we cover each one of the matchups. Friday, we just watch an awesome game from the player, and I'm really curious to see what exactly this game is going to entail as we end up seeing a regularly early time gas coming out from Sonic. So he's going to have enough gas for a Reaper around the time that this barracks finishes up, and there's going to be a lot of potential with that.
Yeah, it's almost ridiculous how much this just looks like a standard TVP.
Yeah,
it's completely absurd.
I definitely did not mix up the Terran versus Protoss day with the awesome day of the week.
Alright,
That did not happen.
With that peek behind the curtains, we are going to see this barracks starting right now. We are going to have that Reaper popping out. It will be able to kill off this scouting probe unless the scouting probe just ducks out super early, which it looks like it will. It got all the information it needed. It's all the refinery. It's all there was in a second refinery. He's now in a pretty safe position as we do have the Cybernetics core coming down.
Yeah, and I mean, Trace is going to say, okay, there's going to be a Reaper coming, so that's going to mean, okay, I don't go ahead and do something silly like move out with all of my early game gateway units. Don't try and send my Mothership core across the map. Going to need it to defend against that annoying little Reaper that's going to be popping out. But I mean, SCV going to be coming in over here from Sonic, seeing everything and saying, hey, you're not proxying Stargate against me. That's good. That's a good sign.
Yeah, and we should see that Mothership core coming out right about now. Right at any point, Trace.
Ooh, looks like he's going for the Nexus first before he gets off that Mothership core. And actually, this actually might be a really interesting play, as he's actually not getting a Stalker up either, and his gas count is just kind of going up right now. I'm really curious if maybe he's just out multitasked right now by this Reaper while also trying to harass the command center building at the Natural.
Now, he finally does have that Mothership core coming out, but this is a super late Mothership core, and this Reaper's getting way too much damage done.
Oh my god, Core Gaming Sonic, I mean, he is just relentless with aggression, and this Reaper doing quite well for himself, although I do have to say that Trace getting out, I mean, trying to cut a couple of corners, and Sonic just not letting him get away with it. Really punishing him. 3 probes this early on is actually pretty significant.
Yeah, most certainly is, especially considering the fact that the Terran player is going to have those mules coming down, and he does actually have a faster natural as well, so Sonic is just starting to take an extreme economic lead this early in the game.
Oh, definitely. And looks like Trace will eventually get up that natural expansion, and getting up a very fast 1 gateway robotics facility, and I'm curious how well this is going to work out. I mean, with the Mothership Core now out, it's going to have enough energy for a Photon Overcharge in about, 20 in-game seconds. So far before Sonic ever decides to be aggressive. But it could still end up working against him if Sonic is just a little bit overly aggressive and, decides to push in regardless of the Photon Overcharge. There's not going to be that many Gateway units out.
Yeah, indeed. Sorry, I got completely distracted yet again. I am an awful co-commentator today, Fear Dragon. It's just horrible.
I forgive you. But let me ask you, Boisterous, what would you like to see out of Sonic in this game? Would you like to see him be really, really aggressive, considering, there's only one robotic facility out and a gateway? There's no other unit-producing structures. Or would you like to see maybe really fast drops to take advantage of the fact that there's only one Photon Overcharge out?
I kind of would just like to see some early aggression because, again, he took that economic lead super early on, and so far, just from what he's been doing, it looks like he might be wanting to go for that early aggression. So really, at this point in the game, I mean, he's ahead to the point where he can really just commit to something and have a very good shot at winning this game. So that's really, really just what I want to see. I want to see him make a choice and then follow that choice until the end.
Actually, I have to say that we end up seeing Sonic going for a very similar build that he went for in the last Terran vs. Protoss we saw from him, which was going for that opening of double barracks, throwing down the command center and getting a one tech lab, one reactor, then going straight into factory. And it's not something that I see every day. Generally, you either see 3 barracks, then going up to like starport, or you see like just almost like a 1-1-1 sort of style, get out very fast medevacs, and add on the 2 extra barracks later on.
Yeah, and it's going to be extremely interesting to see how that plays off against the 2 differentiating styles of Protoss. Because, the last game we saw, we had the player go for extremely fast Templar. In this game, we do have the robotics facility open up, and we do have an observer already scouting out this entire kind of tech transition in.
And another thing worth noting is actually that Sonic going to be ahead in the upgrades this game. He has +1 weapons, whereas the Protoss player is actually just now getting +1 armor. No upgrades completed just yet, and I think this might end up working out a bit better for Sonic, although, whoa, we do have a Templar Archives being thrown down. So, robotic facility purely for observers. You do have to be careful as a Protoss player against, I mean, you never really see it these days, but Banshees, but more particularly Widow Mines.
Yeah, those Widow Mines can be extremely dangerous, and it looks like we might actually be seeing... Actually, I'm pretty sure this factory is just here for boosting. I don't think we're actually going to be really seeing any sort of tech coming out from the factory.
Yeah,
although I've been wrong before.
I think that you're right, based on at least the placement of the barracks and everything, and the fact that he's not really building anything out of it just yet. But Sonic is getting a bit aggressive. He has 1 drop loaded up. As Pylon does actually end up scouting it out, but again, there are not that many units to actually deal with this right now.
Yeah, no, not at all. And he should be able to just elevate everything from this drop right into the main base. It looks like we are going to have that Photon Overcharge coming out, but that again is what is like basically the only Photon Overcharge we're going to see Trace be able to pull off here. So it's going to be interesting to see what Sonic decides to do now, because again, he has this little tiny position up to the north of the main base that he can actually just take over, and that's out of Photon Overcharge range, and he can kind of just set up a foothold there. That's going to be extremely hard for Trace to dislodge him from, but instead he's going to be going right into the natural. It looks like the Photon Overcharge will be going out again, but the Mothership Core does get sniped, and that's extremely important. And it looks like we are going to have this army yet again pulling out, but without a Mothership Core, now he's going to be in an extremely good position to just move in and start doing some extreme damage.
Yeah, as soon as that Photon Overcharge wears out, then, I mean, there could be a lot of damage coming in, especially if you have control like Sonic. You can kite those Zealots, and you can kite the Archons as well, but Medevac drop coming over into the main base. There's no Photon Overcharge available, but there are a handful of Zealots, and they're going to make it at least a little bit more difficult to actually do the damage over here.
Yeah, but we have some beautiful stutters stepping up at the front, being able to snipe off an Archon extremely fast, and this Photon Overcharge is about to fall off. There is really not that much time left on it. I'm surprised he's deciding to just eat the damage from it. I would not have expected to see that. But with just beautiful control, he's able to just out-micro even charge lots. And Sonic just playing so well. It looks like the Immortal's out, but that Immortal is not going to last long against the Marines. And Trace, wow. Just,
I mean, the drop was actually going on in the main base that entire time. We had a giant view screen, and oh my god, Sonic really impressed me over there with his multitasking on the front line and the back line. He was keeping units alive. Whenever those Zealots over in the main base were kind of getting close to those units from the medevac and they started wailing away, Sonic would immediately pick up those units, drop them on the other side of the mineral line, and then resume the kiting over in the main base side, or the natural expansion, I should say. And it was really, really impressive. He just picked apart his opponent.
Yeah, I mean, there's really no other way to say it. I mean, Sonic just completely outplayed his opponent the entire time. I mean, he played an extremely standard and straightforward CVP, but the entire time he was just in such control from that first Reaper getting 3 damage
Yeah.
to this multi-dropping and multi-pronged attacks to finish the game off.
And I think this is a great game to look at as the final game of Sonic's week because it really does highlight his ability to be super aggressive. I mean, it's like Sonic said. It's hard to be aggressive against a Protoss player, you know, around this time in the mid game because they have Photon Overcharge. But if you're good enough and you have enough multitasking and everything to play as well as Sonic, you can make it work.
Yeah, and he definitely made it work.
Oh yeah, and with that being said, guys, please go ahead and give a follow to Core Gaming Sonic over on Twitch. Sorry, it's actually I don't actually know the URLs off the top of my head, but they are posted in the Twitch chat, and they're also posted just below the video if you're watching this over on YouTube.com/FearDragon64. Now, if you do get a chance, you can also go ahead and hit the follow button and the subscribe button over on Twitch.tv/FearDragon64 and YouTube.com/FearDragon64 to get notifications about the show going live. But Boisterous, where can people catch you at?
If people want to check out anything else I do, you can head on over to youtube.com/boisteroussc2, or you can follow me at Twitter or on Twitter at boisteroussc2.
And guys, we are going to be taking another look at that trailer that was actually recently released. It was going to be called the Breakout Invitational. It's going to be an up-and-coming tournament that should be super duper awesome. I'm incredibly excited about it. I hope you guys are too. We're going to even have it produced on the final day with MLG, including myself and Axel Toss as the commentators for that final day for the semifinals and the finals. And 2 undisclosed commentators right now. I'm really, really excited for those 2 commentators. And hopefully you guys will be excited about that too. But with that being said, enjoy this look at the trailer one more time as we close out the night, guys. Have a wonderful one. And hope to see you all tomorrow for the Fun Day episode where we will take a look at these games that have been played, get Sonic's actual opinion on them, and have a little bit of fun. Take care, guys.
See you.